windows or openings to the outside. Please stay tuned to meeting outlets for further information.
Moments like this, you probably think, why didn't we do this?
A little less than a month ago, I get this email from Alex Clark, and he's telling me about an idea I've never heard of before. 1,000-pound power lift, followed by an immediate marathon. So just the insanity of those two combined together sparked my interest, but then he continues to share his heart, and it's to support the Travis Mills Foundation.
The Travis Mills Foundation was founded by Travis and his wife. Travis was critically injured by an IED during his third tour in Afghanistan. The explosion blew off portions of all 4 of his limbs, and he is only one of 5 quadruple amputees from the war in Iraq and Afghanistan to survive that. Travis maintained his lifelong mantra to never give up and never quit, and has dedicated his life to helping men and women in need. Now, their new Warrior PATHH program is focusing on first responders and veterans struggling with PTSD. This is the program we're trying to raise funds for to help continue to help it grow.
The original mission statement of the Travis Mills Foundation and what we did was bring severely wounded veterans and their families out here for essentially a week-long getaway, right, where they can experience different adaptive activities and heal as a family unit. But every year we were getting hundreds and hundreds of people applying, and the only thing wrong with them was PTSD. And so we didn't really have an answer for them. They didn't meet our criteria, and Warrior PATHH is that answer. When you're struggling, you really don't have the capacity to even ask yourself a question, never mind find an answer. So we teach these guys and girls a multitude of what we like to call wellness practices. And these practices are designed to help you respond to life instead of react to it. It's life-changing, honestly. It's open to, like I said, veterans and first responders. When I think about my experience in the Marine Corps, it's easy compared to what first responders deal with these days in today's society. And they definitely deserve help just as much as anyone else.
And then, who even knows if the plywood's level, I'm out here trying to get the best position, and this is probably all warped in anything anyway, so.
How do you feel it being the night before, though? You excited?
Yeah, tomorrow it's going to be where the day of pain kicks off, so as long as the weather holds out, we'll be doing it out here. And my name's Alexander Clark. I am a captain in the United States Army. I work out of Fort Liberty, or used to be Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Prior to joining the Army, I became a volunteer EMT. One day walking home from school, I saw a friend get hit by a car, and sure enough, volunteer EMTs showed up and got her to the hospital, and she got the help she needed. That reminded me of my promise that I had made to my grandfather of being an EMT. Nobody calls 911 because they're having a great time. The things that I was getting exposed to were taking a silent toll on my mind and my heart and who I was as a person. The longer that I stayed in, I started seeing that if I saved someone's life, done CPR and saw someone's eyelids flutter open, and that eye contact, when you're staring down at them and they're staring up at you, can be the one piece that can really carry you forward and say, you did a good thing. But the opposite of that high, is also that low. When those eyelids never open up, and an unanswered prayer stays unanswered in your mind. When you come to a facility like the Travis Mills Foundation, they have the people that are qualified to take someone on that journey of recovery. Many of the people that are involved in those programs have the credibility, the street creds to talk about their own experiences. So as I'm trying to coordinate and figure out how this event can happen while I'm deployed, and I reached out to a guy named Jeremy Grant and said, hey, maybe you could try to film this and see what's going on. He did one better. He said, how about instead of filming, I just do it with you.
Hey, what's up, man?
Good morning, sunshine.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, man. How you guys feeling?
Good. I am about an hour out.
You still feel good about lifting in the rain?
Yeah, I feel good. We've got wrist straps so that we can hang on to the deadlift bar better. Seems like this can definitely happen.
I'm excited.
All right, I'll see you soon.
We'll see you in a bit. Bye.
When we arrived to set up, we were met with relentless rain, and the wind just continued to get worse and worse. Within minutes, we were soaked to the bone, but our spirits weren't dampened. We knew we were here to raise money to help these first responders, so our excitement just kept growing. It was time to lift.
So the 1,000-pound marathon is a simple idea. It couples two activities that most people are aware of and have a background in, lifting and running. So the power lift event is a back squat, deadlift, and bench press. And the cumulative 1 rep max of each of those 3 events adds up to 1,000 pounds. And that's a measure of strength and power. Yep. Push, 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 push.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Right now, Alex, he's going up. He's going for 385 today. This guy is a beast. Check him out.
Yeah, go, 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 go.
Yeah.
Yep. Up, 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 up. Yes.
Right.
You're good.
Next lift. Here we go.
All right.
This is going to be my first time attempting the 1,000-pound marathon. Alex has completed it 2 years in a row. I'm doing it on 3 weeks training, and I'm just going to give it everything I've got. Alex is going to be attempting this for his 3rd time, but this year he's attempting 1,100 pounds in honor of Kelly, who worked at the Travis Mills Foundation, who is fundamentally crucial for pulling this event off for the last 2 years. And unfortunately, due to extreme tragedy, she wasn't able to be here this year.
So I first met Kelly when I presented the idea of trying to do the 1,000-pound marathon in Maine. She said, "Where are you at?" I said, "I'm at Fort Bragg." She said, "So am I." And so, sure as anything, she just invited me to a dinner in town. And there I met paraplegics, I met triple amputees, I met guys that did the line of work that I was in, but who had paid the price with their bodies. And I was genuinely impacted by the stories that I was hearing and the community that I was seeing. And she just said, "Hey, thank you for coming, and we're looking forward to seeing you back up in Maine in a couple of weeks." I was over deployed in Africa for the summer of 2023. On October 25th, guys that knew I was from Maine while we were in Africa said, "Hey, do you have anybody that's in Lewiston in your family?" And I said, I do, I've got a cousin. They said, "You should reach out." And I said, "Why?" And they said, "There's been a mass shooting."
This is an ABC News special report.
Good evening, I'm Juju Chang at ABC News headquarters here in New York, and we're interrupting your regular programming with breaking news. We're learning details about what officials are calling a mass casualty event playing out in Lewiston, Maine. Law enforcement sources there say at least 16 people are dead and dozens more injured.
And I thought that was the one tragedy that I would be involved with Maine for that deployment. A few days later, I'm talking with my wife, and she knew I was involved with the Travis Mills Foundation, and that she said, "Hey, did you hear that Kelly passed away?" I said, "There's no way." I had just been emailing her trying to set this up, and she had said that she was going to be on maternity leave. And that she wasn't going to be at the 1,000-pound marathon, but she said, "Hey, don't worry about it. It's going to be great." And she passed me off, and I was able to coordinate it. This year, hitting 1,100 pounds was really important.
Yes, 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 yes!
Oh!
Oh! Yeah! 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 Nice!
Dude!
Yeah!
Congratulations, brother.
Feels good, thank you. Now we're gonna hug and a kiss.
I met him. He just was somebody on a completely different playing field. His character speaks volumes. He's one of the most selfless people I have ever met. I can't imagine what, Alex and Jeremy were like, having to grip the bar, having to lift that in that kind of weather.
Yeah, move it. Oh, come on! Oh, not even close.
You got it up.
Oh. It's all right. 975, dude, I'll take it. I'll take it. We still got 26.2 miles.
Endurance is measured with cardio, and the marathon, 26.2 miles, is a tried and tested method of how much endurance is someone capable of.
I think the only way to do this is to start it.
Ready?
Let's do this.
Mile one.
All right.
1 mile at a time. Here we go. Dude, look at how weird. Gonna end up losing our hat.
Going into it, we were, we had our little caravan of cars. We had about two vehicles, and we were watching Jeremy and Alex, run from the Travis Mills Foundation, the previous headquarters, to the Lewiston Fire Station. I want to say like 5 minutes in, maybe 10 minutes in, we ran into a roadblock. Workers setting up detour signs, traffic, because the rain and the wind had picked up so much, flooding had started to occur. I'm sitting there in the truck, trying to get through, and realize this detour sign's getting put up as I see Alex and Jeremy running on my left, past through all of that. So we're gonna take a right at Fielder's Choice.
Yeah, okay.
They're setting up a detour sign currently, and then maybe we can loop around. I don't know where this stop ends. Appears to be an accident up ahead, so their trailing truck is gonna be stuck for a little bit. So we're just praying that they make it over safely. In this very stormy weather, they'll be fine. I say that as I'm panicking inside. Dang.
So we got police lights ahead, and we haven't seen a car for a few minutes. And we saw someone putting out road flooding signs, so there's a chance that not too far into this, our route is already impeded. There could be a down power line. So we'll see.
We're gonna be safe and just take all guidance from whoever's putting it out, We'll be good.
All right, we slowed down, got a friendly wave, so we're gonna proceed, see what we come across. But like Alex said, safety's first.
We definitely don't want to be doing a fundraiser for first responders and then be a reason why they need to come out. So we are using common sense.
The decision of, hey, why run in the middle of a rainstorm? Anybody with a phone and anybody that can listen to the news knew that there was going to be a storm on Monday. Why did you do it? I would say that there were several factors that were leading into that. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. If I cancel this event because of weather that hadn't happened yet, but was worried about, I didn't feel like that was a proper acceptance of prudent risk. There's a saying not to get treed by a chihuahua. If you're in the middle of the woods and you hear something snap a twig and you climb up a tree because you're scared of what's beneath you, I think that was the element of fear that I was trying to avoid about just stopping an event.
Hey!
Okay for a jog.
Yeah.
Those are primary lines, so
Okay.
just stay way over if you could.
Cool.
All right. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Yep.
How's it looking after that?
Like a mess.
To be expected. All right, thank you, man. We got a main line down, so we can play it slow, really pay attention. But they're being cool, letting us through, so we're grateful. That means our support team definitely diverted. Yeah, line goes right down the middle of the road, bunch of trees. Like I said, this storm, it's a real deal. Dang. Yeah, that's nothing to play around with. We're grateful that didn't completely impede our our route. So here we go.
So Alex initially wanted us to meet about every 2 to 5 miles, depending on the terrain, depending on how they're doing. Probably start out with every like 5, and then as it gets closer, every 2, just because of, hi buddy, just because of how cold it is, how windy, just as a check-in. Sorry about that, we have a new puppy that's along with us. However, now we're gonna have to reroute. So they're gonna be going, I don't know, 8+ miles with no check-in, no water. I think Jeremy has a tiny little like spritz of it, no food. They've barely had anything since the lift. So at that point, your body, especially in this weather, your body starts to kind of shut down and like try to conserve, and they're pushing through that. So it's gonna take a lot more than just any kind of physical ability that you have right now. It's gonna take a lot of mental stamina and endurance.
It just continues. The devastation all over this route. It's wild. We got fire trucks now. Just praying there's no incident or anyone's got hurt today. Lord, we pray that whoever's there, if they're there, they're safe, under your hand of protection.
I started to kind of like definitely worry. It's my husband, and I've experienced a lot of things, actually particularly with water. It's a real thing to lose someone due to flooding, and that was hitting home. So I had to do my best to think, hey, he is a Green Beret, he's a Ranger, he has been through much worse with weather than most people. He is extremely capable, and I know he's probably as worried about me as I am of him. I will say I definitely started to panic a little bit. I remember just, driving up and parking and getting to a spot where I could see the road. I was very tempted to ask some of the cars driving by, hey, did you see these 2 crazy men running on the street? Soon I looked up and I saw these figures running through the rain. Little heart. I'm so happy that I can spot them now. Hey, they're here, I see them.
You see them coming?
I see them coming.
Cool.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Whew. Man, I thought one of them were swimming, so. I thought, they were gonna pop up kind of, like, oh my goodness, this is like crazy, this is so hard, like the wind's nuts. They both popped up smiling and just loving it, and they felt so good. We just provided some snacks and some hydration, and got them a quick pit stop to the woods, and then we got them back up and running. And as soon as they started running, those trees hanging a power line caused the breaker, one of those big box breakers, I think that's what they're called, to just explode.
It is dang it. It's moments like this you'd probably think, why didn't we do this? We're on the road. There's a small tree down that we stepped over. Started jogging again at the top of the hill. And then behind us, just a loud crack and another big tree. Literally right in the lane we're running. This came crashing down. So again, safety is priority here. Trying to keep each other accountable, keep our head on a swivel. And honestly, if it does get too bad, we will call it. We're not going to be out here trying to do something foolish. Wow. Yeah, those gusts are real. So,
Tonight, a state of emergency declared in 14 of Maine's 16 counties. Governor Janet Mills set to meet with emergency management officials tomorrow as hundreds of thousands of Mainers are still without power.
Meantime, several states in the Northeast remain under flood alerts tonight in the wake of yesterday's extraordinary storm event along the East Coast.
Across the Northeast, at least 5 people died from falling trees and flooding.
As we started approaching, realizing that we weren't going to complete the marathon prior to nightfall, we had a decision to make. And really what it boiled down to is, why are we here? We're trying to make an impact in just one person's life. If there is just one EMS or police officer or firefighter or EMT paramedic that says, hey, because of watching this video, seeing what these crazy dudes are doing, I'm going to be the guy that says I want help, or the gal that says I want help. With that in perspective, we realized that, you know what, maybe the hardest thing to do right now isn't to actually complete this marathon under its conditions. Maybe the hardest thing to do right now is to say, let's stop and pick this back up when things have changed. I don't think that the storm beat us by any chance. It didn't break us, it didn't do anything other than provide perspective. And what I think that perspective is that life is a season, and whatever season that you find yourself in, you still have the ability to choose what you're doing in that moment. For us, running a marathon in the middle of a historically bad storm in Maine, we realized that our responsibility was to stop and say, we don't want to be the reason why in a fundraiser for first responders, we're the reason that first responders have to actually work because we caused an incident. So with that in mind, we did the hardest thing possible, which is to say, hey, we needed to stop. When we made the pause to stop the marathon, we didn't know if we were going to be able to complete it. The storm was absolutely devastating the community, and at the same time, we didn't know how long the effects of the storm were going to still remain. I reached back out to the Travis Mills Foundation, said, hey, is there any way that we could just finish it on treadmills? Without missing a beat, they said yes. What I didn't realize is that the facility is also without power and currently running on generators. And what I hope that this shows is that when you take that pause, like we did, and you see what tools are around you, like we did. The Travis Mills Foundation had treadmills. We needed those treadmills. And you go to a place where you can use those tools for healing, that this is a place to do it at. And they're leading by example in the midst of a storm as well.
That's it. Yeah. On 147.45, 13.1. So, a little quicker than I thought. It was one of the things that was hitting me while I was running is that I feel like it matters more how you finish a race than how you start it. And so I wanted to have some in the tank so I could keep increasing the pace. And I didn't want to leave this part of the workout thinking that I wish I had slowed down and had more left to give. I think it was a good timing. And I think about 2024, it's going to be a marathon for some folks. There's going to be things that happen that are outside of all of our control. And I would just say that, again, it always matters how you finish something, to do it well. So Jeremy's been known to do some wild marathons in Maine. He carried a chainsaw on his back and they'll knock it. And so when I came to him with the idea of the 1,000-pound marathon and just trying to get something together as a fundraiser, he jumped on board. And he's had no training. As far as like prep time, he's actually been working in the Arctic and he's been away from his family and workout equipment. And so he just hopped on board and thrown himself at this. He's PR'd on some of his lifts in the middle of a rainstorm, and right now he's just putting in all he's got on this marathon. And more importantly, I think he's the first official other person than me that's done this in America. So I think that's pretty cool. So happy about it.
Cool.
And I know next year we're looking to have more people come alongside us. So we're excited about it.
How's that feel? It's so good.
Yeah, it's over.
It's so good.
That's the best part about it all.
And I'm just so honored to be a part of this and to hopefully help this grow and to inspire other people. You know, Alex is on a mission. I'm on a mission. We're here to help encourage people. This isn't going to be the last event. And our hope is next time the 1,000-pound marathon happens, you're going to be here for it to help this amazing cause, this amazing organization. We don't have to suffer alone. We can speak up and we can make a difference. So pick up some weights, put on those running shoes, and go discover something awesome.